Hey there! If you've ever set foot in a doctor's office, you know the drill, right? That constant back and forth of questions, it just seems to slow everything to a crawl. Well, today, we're going to look at how AI is stepping in to solve one of the biggest headaches of them all, insurance verification.
Just imagine it for a second. The front desk is buzzing, the phone's ringing off the hook, you've got a waiting room full of people, and in the middle of all that chaos, you hear the same questions again and again and again. It's this endless loop that happens every single day in clinics everywhere, and it just wears everyone out.
Yeah, this is the big one, isn't it? It's probably the very first thing that pops into a patient's head, that worry about the cost. I mean, it can be a real barrier to getting care. People just want a straight answer, you know? They want to know what they're getting into before they even book the appointment.
And right after that comes the other classic. Do you take my insurance? Seems like a simple question, but man, the answer is everything. It's the difference between care you can afford and a nasty surprise bill later on. Nobody wants that. Okay, so let's say the doctor is in your network. You're not done yet. There's always that last hurdle. Okay, but is this specific thing covered? Put them all together and you've basically got this wall of stress and uncertainty for patients.
And here's the real kicker. These questions, they're totally valid, super important for the patient. But for the staff, oh, they are a massive bottleneck. To get an accurate answer, someone has to sit on hold with an insurance company forever or fight with some clunky, outdated website. It just eats up so much time that they could be using to, actually help the people who are right there in the office.
So what do? How can you get patients the answers they desperately need without completely burning out your staff? Well, this is where technology, specifically AI, comes into the picture, with a really smart solution to a really old problem.
And here it is. This is MedAI. It's a platform designed from the ground up to automate that whole frustrating dance. Instead of manual phone calls and logging into a dozen different portals, you get instant AI-powered verification. For the front office staff, this is a total game changer.
All right, so you're probably wondering, how does this thing actually work? It's not magic, but it is a really clever, streamlined process that's all about one thing, being super efficient. Okay, so here's the breakdown. First, it gets the insurance info right from the patient. That alone cuts down on a ton of mistakes. Then, the system plugs right into the clinic's other software, their EHR or whatever they use, and it checks for coverage automatically, totally in the background. Boom! You get instant, clear answers to those everyday questions. But, and this is the really smart part, it knows when something's tricky. If a case is a little weird or complicated, it flags it for an actual person to take a look. The whole point is to let the computers handle the boring, repetitive stuff so the humans can focus on the things that really need their brainpower.
So what's the real impact of all this? What does it actually mean? Well, it's about way more than just doing things faster. It's about making the entire experience better for absolutely everyone involved, from the person checking you in to the person sitting in the waiting room. I mean, look at this. It's a perfect win-win. On one side, you've got patients who feel totally in the loop. They get answers to those huge financial questions before they even walk out the door. And on the other side, the staff literally gets hours of their day back. No more being stuck in that miserable loop of phone calls and websites. They can actually focus on having real, meaningful conversations with patients. A tool like this is actually hinting at something much, much bigger. What we're really talking about here is completely rethinking the patient experience, focusing on all those incredibly stressful things that happen before a patient even gets to see their doctor. Just think about that for a second. So much of the stress we feel about healthcare has nothing to do with the actual medicine. It's about the crazy administrative maze you have to run through just to get care. And that leaves us with a really powerful question. What if we could use AI to automate away all the most stressful parts of that journey? Just imagine a world where everyone, patients, doctors, staff, could just focus on what really matters, getting and staying healthy.